this is the first ever remote commentary video. And it's for No Prisoners. So No Prisoners gets the honor of being our guinea pig for this experimentation of commentary videos that we're going to have to do maybe 1 or 2 more times until I move, and then we won't have to do this anymore.
Yes, sir.
We're almost there. So anyway, guys, welcome to the No Prisoners commentary remote edition. Nick, how are we?
We're good, man. We're making it work right now. We're making it work.
I have you on this screen.
You turn your head a bunch.
Which I don't know why I would do that. Shouldn't I have me over there and you over here?
You're self-centered. It's okay. I get it.
I know. I'm very vain, obviously, as you can tell. As you can tell by the fact I'm shooting YouTube comment in what is essentially amounts to pajamas. But anyway,
amazing.
Welcome, guys. So as usual, we like to do these commentary videos just to talk about, if you're new to this video series, if you haven't seen a commentary video before, which I assume a lot of you probably have, but in the event that you haven't, we like to do these videos just to do a little bit of a deep dive into my thought process around the lyrics and what they mean. I know, Nick, you have some questions.
I do.
That. So we're going to explore some lyrical content. We're going to explore some production content and process, and just kind of take you behind the scenes of the creation of No Prisoners. And then, of course, if you guys have questions that we don't get into, you can answer them in the comment sections of this video. Feel free to leave a comment to ask us a question. I've been trying to get back on responding to all of the comments and stuff, since there has been a few less comments to deal with now than there have been in the past. It's a little bit more manageable. So by all means, if we don't cover something in today's video, feel free to leave your question in the comments section. And without further ado, here we go. So a little brief overview. No Prisoners, I wrote, the message behind it is kind of my frustration with the pervasive violence, I guess, that kind of exists in our country, right? We're United States citizens, that we kind of, the violence at that time when I was really writing it was more people being perpetrated against us. And I thought that it was very apropos that we dropped the song released on February 27th. And we went to war with Iran on February 28th.
Crazy. I did not even put that together. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either until I was making a video for social media yesterday. And I was like, wait a second, we were 1 day off.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's not great.
No.
I would like to hope at some point we are, just intellectually and evolutionarily ahead of blowing each other up. But here we are again. I try not to make my political stances one-sided. As a general rule of thumb, I don't care who was president of the United States. I have always been a person that is anti-war. I think there are better solutions. I think there are smarter ways to do it. And I think there are bigger fish to fry. And I always, no matter who is in office, have a great deal of questions about our motivation for war, and whether or not it's for the reasons that we actually claim it to be, or whether or not it is more capitalistic, oil conquering nonsense and has nothing to do with the, more fluffy reasons they like to give for why we do these things. So the whole idea is, we take no prisoners here, have no fear. Like, you're safe, don't worry. The government that just inexplicably murders people all over the globe is here to protect you. Don't worry. You're hidden behind this shield of violence, which at any point in time, especially what we've seen here in the States in the last year, it was always, to me, just a matter of time before that got flipped back around on us. And now we have that, right? Whether it's, stuff that goes on with ICE or National Guards being deployed to cities. At some point, I think those chickens were just destined to come home to roost. And I believe we've seen that, and we are experiencing some of that same violence here that we show abroad. And whether or not you want it to be like a political statement that you make, I think not being disgusted with the idea of millions or hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of lives being lost is this inherently inhuman thing. So even if you are a supporter of the current regime, the current administration, whatever you want to say, it's crazy to me that you, as a human being, would cheer on war. It seems antithetical to the survival of our species. So that's kind of like the whole overview, so to speak.
I did have some questions about the lyrics specifically. You touch on, the have no fear, and it seems like it's more of a tongue-in-cheek aspect to it, highlighting the false narrative of what they tell their citizens or, the world at large as to what their motivations are, et cetera. But specifically, some of the more poetic stuff is in the verses, right? And especially the second verse, but I'll ask the first verse first. Home is a full cemetery. Follow the stones to your bed. Some of the skeletons buried. Some of them live in your head. Beautiful, dude. Where does that come from? It's a contrasted from the choruses, which are carnage, basically, right? It's anthemic, no prisoners. But then you have this almost, beautiful picture that you're painting here. Where does that come from?
So I think what I realize I do a lot is I switch voices sometimes when I'm writing lyrics.
Okay.
It's more me speaking in the chorus, and then I think maybe more people yelling back at me, or me speaking in the verse, and then more people yelling back at me in the chorus, right?
Okay.
So that line, for instance, right, like home is a full cemetery. Follow your stones to your bed. So it's like this whole country, and I don't think, to be fair, I don't think it's unique to a lot of other places in the world, but it is founded on so much violence.
Yeah, or unique to our timeline either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. But what we've done, just when we came here and what we did to First Nations people and Native American, right? And then what we did during slavery. And I think the difference in the US that's very interesting, especially with what's happening now as compared to other countries, like Australia had their situation with the Aboriginal people, right? And then they come forward and they make national holidays and they apologize and they have national monuments. And you think about stuff that's happened in in Germany, right? Like everything that happened with the Holocaust and how determined they are to ensure that does not happen again. Mm-hmm. And you look at the way that other nations handle it, whether it just be symbolically and ceremonious and not even in the event that you don't feel that it's actually genuine. You compare that to what we do in the US, which is we just kind of deny it. We just get over it. That didn't happen, right? We're going to get rid of Juneteenth. We're going to get rid of DEI. We're going to get rid of all these motions and movements that we've taken to kind of balance the scale a little bit for some of our wrongs in the past. And I feel like we still live in this era of refusing to accept the fact that these things happened. So you're just expected to walk around, right? Like there's so much death here, right? This is a full cemetery, but I just have to walk past all the stones and get in bed. And I have to think about some of the stuff, right? Some of the skeletons are buried, right? Like these evil things that we've done that we're not going to talk about, whether it's the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre, or some of these things we've just put to bed, right? The country, the government, our history books are just burying, but some of them still live up here. Like no matter what I do, no matter how much I want to focus on myself and not think about it, some of those skeletons still live that we have in the closet still live in me. I still think about them constantly. They plague my thoughts and my energy and my presence. And I want so badly to see those things addressed, accounted for, apologized for, and taken forward. And I think because we refuse to accept some of the violence in our past, we're kind of doomed to continue perpetrating violence in our future.
Right. Wow. Wow. That's actually super sick, because to me, it's so poetic. I can just get lost in the picture that you're kind of painting, and it feels beautiful in the subdued aspect of what's happening musically, and then it explodes in the chorus. I love the song, I think it really, we've done something that I don't want to say that we've tried to do, but this is definitely a type of songwriting that we've yet to do, I would say, right? And
there was somebody who commented on one of the YouTube videos that was whoa, mid-tempo. And when they commented that, I thought it was really funny because we've tried to do that a lot.
Yeah.
And we've never really been able to like lock it in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's true. Didn't even think about the BPM aspect of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's
right.
I think it's, you know, like a testament to us being willing to try new things, but also, you know, I always give you a lot of credit for that, for encouraging me to do new things with my voice and find different textures and different aspects, right? This is the first song that everybody's hearing where I'm like yelling, I guess. I don't, people are like, well, Brent's screaming. I'm like, that's not really a scream. Like,
it's a scream for 8 graves. It's a scream for 8 graves.
I know.
Yeah.
It's more a yell, right? I don't know. It's in that middle, you know.
It's a nice holler.
Linkin Park. Yeah. Yeah. In that Linkin Park arena.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that I wouldn't have the courage to do that if it weren't for encouragement from you. So I think that's
Thank you, buddy.
A big part of it too, trying new things and you know, getting out of our comfort zone to just make a different type of song that I think matches the energy of the vocal and the energy of the track matches the message that I was trying to lyrically go for.
And to that point, it would lead me to my next question about the lyrics. You have home is an iron asylum, grinding your bones into dust. Some of us care to keep trying. Most of us don't give a F.
F-bomb. Yeah. A conversation that really pisses me off, that I have to have often in political arguments with people, is that making life harder for everybody somehow makes better people.
Oh, the cycle, right? Hard times make better people, or
well, not just that, right? Like, hey, I think everybody in America should have food. I don't think that should be controversial. I think if you can't feed everyone and you can't provide shelter for everybody and you can't provide healthcare and medicine for everybody, then you're a failed nation.
We're a failed nation. Yeah.
And I think that because that's like what people need to survive. And if there's no guarantee of your survival, then what is even, like, everyone's like, well, it's not my job to pay for other people. And like, if they just worked harder. And I'm like, okay.
Right.
You know,
so
like,
motivation being taken, starvation and death. Imminent death.
Why does that have to be the only motivation?
Right.
Like, right. Like, why is the baseline level of survival the only skin in the game that we can have?
Right.
Right. How come like having a nice car, having nice clothes, or going on vacations, or having a nicer home, or, you know, being able to have nicer experiences and go out to nice dinners and buy nice gifts for your loved ones? Like, why isn't that all of the things that we have to pay money for to experience? And the only thing that they try to, that the powers that be, that voices will try to tell us, the only thing that will motivate you is starvation, sickness, death, homelessness. And I just don't believe that to be true, because, by the way, before we had money, before we had capitalism, before we had industry, people worked, people created beautiful things, right? People built temples and churches, and people created art and song. People harvested fields to feed their neighbors, right? Like, we're acting like the only way that human beings will do anything is if they're just threatened with sickness and death and violence. And historically, we just know that to not be true. So it's this idea that like, well, it's supposed to be hard here. And this is like a, you know, you grind and like hustle culture, and you just do it and you just do it and you just work. And, oh, you work 40 hours. I remember my first part-time job. I work 130 hours and my kids can't even afford medicine. That's cool because I work. It's like, what are we doing? Like, we're killing ourselves.
Yeah, man.
Our life expectancy is constantly decreasing, right? We're the only developed nation in the world that has a lower expectancy of life now than we did 5 years ago. Right. People are working longer hours with more education, with more job training, and we are disincentivized from even participating in the system because everyone is so hopeless that they can't afford a house, or they'll never be able to afford to have a family, or right. Like, and I understand some of that you can mitigate with hard work, and some of that you can mitigate with good fortune, and some of that you can mitigate with a lot of external factors. But like, at the end of the day, why does it have to be that hard?
To the point, to the extent in which you point out, right? that we are dying, we are becoming more sick.
No, and the people that are supposed to be protecting us are making it worse, are restricting our access to healthcare, are passing legislation to spray glyphosate on our food again. After that was, in that whole Roundup thing, it was found to be a carcinogen, a cancer-causing chemical. They brought it back because they want companies to make money. So they're literally grinding us into the ground. And I watch this happen and I'm like, how is everything not on fire? And I know so many.
In the way that it isn't already on fire, you mean more in the way that like
by us.
Right. In revolt. Yeah. Right.
That's a great question. And that's the thing. I know so many people who are like so upset and so damaged by everything that's going on and want so badly for things to change. And then I know a bunch of other people who are just like, yeah, whatever, man, just kind of is how it is. And that's crazy to me because it's like frogs in the boiling pot, not recognizing the water is getting warmer. And I'm like, at what point?
What's the threshold?
Like, what's the threshold? And I watched like a bunch of my neighbors who were, before anybody gets in the comment sections, get smart. They were legal citizens with paperwork, be detained, right? And I was like, oh, this is going to be it. Mm-hmm. And then I watched like them do like the presidential administration launching like rug pull crypto schemes. And I was like, this is going to be it. And then I watched them overthrow Venezuelan government and keep all the money in a private account for the president's discretion. And I'm like, okay, that'll be it. And then I watched the Epstein files come out and I watched like, oh, wow, our entire country is like run by really, really bad people doing really, really evil things that I won't even speak of here because God forbid I impart a knowledge of some things that have happened to somebody that did not want to hear it. It's like impossible to even speak about without
That's true.
Putting trigger warnings everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this will be it.
Yeah.
And now we blew up a school with 100+ little girls. Mm-hmm. And now we plumbed oil fields and the gas prices are going to go through the roof for us here. But abroad, those people are having toxic black sludge rain fall on them that causes burns on their skins, right? That causes their homes to be destroyed, their health to be thrown into question. And I'm sorry, I think about the environmental impact, right, of releasing all of that black smoke into the environment. And by the way, it doesn't just hurt the people there. And by the way, I don't want to hurt the people there. There's just nothing constructive about blowing people up, blowing buildings up, blowing stuff up. So, so I don't know. It's crazy to me that doesn't just hurt people as human beings and that there's folks who can be like super stoked on the idea of that happening. But anyway, I think all those feelings were really easy to kind of get out. And, obviously there's things I'm angry about. And I think we really built a track in a way that could explore that. And that was really cool. And it was nice to be able to explore that in a way that's less sad and a little bit more aggressive. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Yeah. The aggression aspect of it was rad. I mean, like when we, were writing this album, we had, a couple of different vibes. We were kind of just discussing and chasing and whatnot. And particularly with this one, it starts off with kind of like this industrial kick and like just a visceral 303 bass line. And that's the only thing that's going on. And then there's Brent, appears out of nowhere and carries it. It's not really doing too much as a track standpoint, and I think that was great. But then when it like flips in, it changes to just the one chord, the one additional chord, and descends down into darkness again. And then, it's constantly rising above the clouds and coming back down. And, that was just kind of, I wanted to be able to create something that was kind of beautiful and like, also ugly at the same time. And I think sometimes you can't really understand how something beautiful is unless it's contrasted to something that is ugly and visceral and raw, right? So it was just being able to go back and forth from like having a lot of edge and then kind of softening it out, even though it doesn't really get too soft, but you know, you take the teeth out of it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Creates the impact. And like, honestly, like anatomically, it's how I always think, like, is the low end going to be the hip hop low end, or is it going to be like the, you know, EDM house low end? Those are the two buckets that I'm choosing from when it comes to the kick and the 808. And with this one, it really was just house that really came through. And then everything that sits on top of that super smooth, deep low end is just jagged and sounds like iron striking against iron and tubes exploding and just even your gang vocals. Like I think I took a lot of the elements of the song and I put it through, and it's actually over here, but it's a Tascam Porta Studio. And the preamps in that thing, like it's from like the 90s. You can just drive the shit out of it, and it just does like some unruly stuff. Then I was doing that, did that with the drums, and I made like a layer of that, so like even more distortions kind of like sitting up on top. And then I think I took your main vocal and ran it through the same exact channel. So in the background, sort of sitting on top, is like this distortion play between the vocals and the drums that are, you know, mixed in. It was really fun. You know,
Yeah.
I'm able to like play with a lot of textures that I haven't before for this project. And I think when we were done, we're both like, yeah, this fucks.
Yeah.
So
I think it was cool because I feel like most of the time in the past we've been trying to get my voice to this like really super smooth place and then add some roughness back into it. And I think what was cool here was that we just let me be kind of rough and then like roughed up my rough. So it's like, it's nice and you know, got a lot of teeth to it. It's got a lot of like bite, and it's just a really cool way to hear yourself. And also like for me, I'm like, I hear that and I'm like, yeah, you know,
dude,
makes me feel cool.
It makes me feel cool too, man. Yeah,
I'm like, ooh, I'm cool. I think I did something cool.
Yeah,
so it was fun.
And I will say that it's not like we really left, but it's nice to be back.
Yeah,
both in the, you know, the game of releasing music, obviously, but feeling like we're back sonically. And then some, you know.
There's an aspect of you know, something that I always preferred, and very early on when we started doing this project, you would ask me like, do we want to have this person mix it, and then I would listen to your mixes and I'm like, I don't know, I think it sounds pretty good. Like sure. And every step of the way it was like, wow, well, should we have this person do it? Should we have this person do it? And I think that you've progressed to a level where you're skilled enough that if we have other people do it, I don't know that it necessarily, I say this to you all the time, I don't know that it necessarily gets better. I just think different people have different tastes and make different choices. But I don't know at this point, I think you've arrived at a level where like, I don't know that we're going to have somebody better do it. We might just have somebody who makes different choices. So now I think I always get to put my stamp all over stuff because I'm, you know, yelling and screaming the whole time about it. But it's really cool to feel like you have your paws on it again. And that like, you know, it's nice to have, you know, that feeling that, you know, because we have such a good relationship now and we play off of each other so well. It's really nice to feel like that play back and forth is here again, you know, and it's
so apparent. It's so apparent.
You know?
Yeah.
And then Marshall, who helped with the vocals, who I think really got a lot of good stuff out of me. But yeah,
absolutely.
So it's nice to have it where we're both back and we're both, you know, I feel like we're very much intermingled. And when I listen to the song, I hear both of us in it now, like not just me. And sometimes even some songs in the past, like sometimes I'm like, it doesn't really sound like me. Like now it like sounds like me and it sounds like you. And I think that's really cool. You know,
I think that's it, man. That's exactly it. And it just feels great. It feels fucking great, man.
It's rad, dude. It's rad. So anyway, so this video is really long for our standard commentary video, but I don't hate it. Left
to our own devices, this is what happens.
Oh, Brent be yapping, dude. Yeah. Woo, Brent be yapping. So this is long. But I think we hit a lot of good points. We talked about production. We talked about my position. I'm going to have people in the comments calling me woke. It's going to be really fun.
Can't wait, dude.
It's going to be awesome. Sick. Anyway, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know if you like this longer format. We can go into stuff a little bit deeper. We can talk more about specific lyrics. Maybe you guys think we should be doing a separate video that's just for like line by line discussion of lyrics.
I don't know. Dare I say the P word? Podcast?
Oh no, God forbid. I'm not that self-important. At some point I might have to, because I might not be able to find a job, and then maybe I'll just, start selling supplements or something on a podcast.
Oh my God.
Yeah. My supplement packages are just going to be wildflower seeds that you put in your neighborhood to help the bees. Anyway,
love that.
Comment if you like this video. Let us know. If you think it's too long and dry, let us know. If you think I should shut up and not voice my opinion about stuff, don't comment that. I don't care.
I was going to say.
Yeah. And if you think, and if you have any questions, if you have anything that we didn't cover that you want to know more about, if it's production, if it's a specific lyric that you like, feel free to leave a comment, and I will answer your questions. And other than that, we'll see what the video release schedule looks like, because I'm in the middle of moving 900 miles away. So I'm throwing lots of wrenches in the gears right now. But we'll have the regular companion content coming your way. So look forward for that. And streams and all that jazz that we had to move, because I bought a house and I've been traveling to take care of my house. But look forward for those videos. Let us know what you think. And sure enough, we'll talk to everybody soon, I think. Pretty
Absolutely.
Soon. And
thanks for watching.
Yeah, keep streaming No Prisoners. Keep sharing it, and fight the power and whatnot. And be nice to people.